The prophecy echoed in Perseus's ears. A king would fall, a life taken by his own kin. His mother, Danae, beautiful and desperate, had fled with him to escape the prophecy's shadow. But fate, like a persistent shadow, followed wherever they went. They found refuge on the island of Seriphos, ruled by King Polydectes. A seemingly kind ruler, he offered them sanctuary. But beneath the surface, darker intentions brewed. Intentions that would force Perseus into a deadly quest. Polydectes desired Danae, her beauty, her grace captivated him, but Perseus, growing into a strong young man, stood as a barrier between the king and his desires. Polydectes needed to remove him, to send him away on a task so dangerous, so impossible, that he would never return. The king saw opportunity in the boasting of a rival. He would demand a gift so outrageous, so deadly, that it would surely be Perseus's doom. He would demand the head of Medusa. A grand banquet, filled with the finest food and wine, became the stage for Polydectes' plan. He called upon Perseus, challenging him to prove his worth with a gift. The request, veiled in flattery, was a death sentence. The head of Medusa, the Gorgon, whose gaze turned men to stone. Perseus, young and proud, could not back down. He swore an oath, a promise to bring back the Gorgon's head. The guests gasped, their laughter dying in their throats. Perseus, with a heavy heart but unwavering resolve, prepared for his impossible quest. The terror of the Gorgons. The Gorgons, three monstrous sisters, were the stuff of nightmares. Born from the primordial sea deities Phorcys and Ceto, they were destined to be creatures of horror and dread. Their very existence was a curse upon the world, a reminder of the chaos that lurked beneath the surface of the ancient Greek cosmos. Stheno and Euryale, fearsome and immortal, were terrifying enough. Their strength and ferocity were unmatched, and they roamed the earth with a malevolent purpose. These two sisters were known for their relentless pursuit of anyone who dared to cross their path, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. But Medusa, the youngest, was the most dreaded of all. Unlike her immortal sisters, Medusa was mortal, yet her power was far more insidious. Once a beautiful maiden, she was transformed into a monster by the goddess Athena, a punishment for desecrating her temple. This transformation made her the most tragic and feared of the Gorgons. Her hair, a writhing mass of venomous snakes, framed a face so hideous that a single glance turned men to stone. Her gaze was a weapon of unparalleled terror, capable of freezing the bravest warriors in their tracks. The mere mention of her name struck fear into the hearts of all who heard it. To face Medusa was suicide. Many had tried, and all had failed, their lifeless stone forms scattered across her lair as grim reminders of her deadly power. The challenge of confronting Medusa was not just a test of strength, but of wit and courage, for only the cleverest could hope to survive. But Perseus, bound by his oath and driven by a desperate need to protect his mother, refused to give in to fear. Armed with gifts from the gods, a mirrored shield from Athena, winged sandals from Hermes, and a sword from Hephaestus, he embarked on a perilous journey. His mission was clear: to slay Medusa and bring back her head as proof of his triumph. He would find a way, even if it meant facing the wrath of gods and monsters. Perseus knew that his quest was fraught with danger, but he also knew that the stakes were too high to turn back. With each step he grew more determined, his resolve hardened by the knowledge that failure was not an option. The fate of his mother, and perhaps the world, rested on his shoulders as he ventured into the unknown, ready to confront the terror of the Gorgons. Guided by the gods. The gods, watching from their lofty perch on Mount Olympus, saw the plight of the mortal hero, Perseus. They observed his struggles and the immense challenges that lay ahead of him. The gods, though often aloof, were not indifferent to the fates of mortals. Among them, Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare, felt a deep sense of compassion for Perseus. She was known for her keen intellect and her ability to foresee the outcomes of battles and quests. Her heart went out to the young hero who was about to face one of the most fearsome creatures in all of mythology. Athena knew the dangers that awaited Perseus. The Gorgon Medusa, with her deadly gaze that could turn any living being to stone, was no ordinary adversary. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Athena decided to intervene. She reached out her hand, ready to offer her divine assistance. But Athena was not alone in her desire to help. Hermes, the swift-footed messenger god, known for his speed and cunning, appeared beside her. Hermes had always been a friend to mortals, often aiding them in their times of need. Together, they formed a plan to equip Perseus with the tools he would need to succeed. Athena gifted Perseus a shield, its surface polished to a mirror sheen. This was no ordinary shield, it was a divine artifact that would allow Perseus to see Medusa's reflection without looking directly at her, thus avoiding her petrifying gaze. The shield was both a weapon and a safeguard, a testament to Athena's wisdom. Hermes, in turn, bestowed upon Perseus a pair of winged sandals. These magical sandals granted him the ability to fly, giving him the speed and agility needed to confront Medusa and escape her lair. With these sandals, Perseus could traverse great distances swiftly, a gift that would prove invaluable in his quest. Additionally, from the nymphs, Perseus received a magical bag, known as the cabesus. This bag had the unique ability to safely contain even the most dangerous of trophies, including the head of Medusa. The nymphs, ancient and wise, understood the importance of this gift and its role in Perseus's mission. Armed with these divine gifts, Perseus set out on his perilous journey. Each item he carried was a symbol of the gods' favor and their belief in his potential. The shield, the sandals, and the magical bag were not just tools, they were tokens of hope and divine support. With determination in his heart and the blessings of the gods, Perseus embarked on his quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Facing the serpent-haired horror. Guided by the whispers of the wind and the stars above, Perseus flew to the edge of the world, to the Gorgon's lair. The journey was long and arduous, filled with perils and challenges that tested his courage and resolve. He soared over vast oceans and treacherous mountains, his heart set on the daunting task ahead. The landscape below him changed from lush forests to barren wastelands, each mile bringing him closer to his destiny. The stench of death and decay hung heavy in the air. The once vibrant land was now a desolate wasteland, littered with the petrified remains of those who had dared to look upon Medusa. Statues of warriors, animals, and even innocent travelers stood frozen in eternal terror, a grim reminder of the horror that awaited him. The eerie silence was occasionally broken by the distant cries of unseen creatures, adding to the oppressive atmosphere. He could hear the hissing of Medusa's snake hair, a sound that sent shivers down his spine. Each hiss was a reminder of the deadly power she wielded, capable of turning any living being to stone with just a glance. The snakes writhed and twisted, their eyes gleaming with malevolent intelligence. The sound grew louder as he approached, a constant, unnerving presence that seemed to echo off the walls of the cave. He crept closer, his heart pounding in his chest. Every step was taken with the utmost caution, his senses heightened to the extreme. The darkness of the cave seemed to close in around him, each shadow a potential threat. He could feel the weight of his mission pressing down on him, the lives of countless innocents depending on his success. His grip tightened on his sword, the cold metal a small comfort in the oppressive gloom. Using Athena's shield as a mirror, he navigated the treacherous cave, avoiding the gaze of the two immortal Gorgon sisters. The shield, polished to a perfect shine, reflected the dim light of the cave, allowing him to see without looking directly at the deadly creatures. Each step was a delicate dance, balancing the need for stealth with the urgency of his mission. The shield became his lifeline, guiding him through the labyrinthine passages and around the many dangers that lay in wait. And then he saw her, Medusa, asleep, her monstrous face even more horrifying up close. Her features were twisted and grotesque, a nightmarish blend of human and serpent. The snakes that formed her hair lay coiled and still, their eyes closed in slumber. But even in sleep, there was an aura of menace about her, a sense of the terrible power she possessed. Perseus knew that this was his only chance. With a silent prayer to the gods, he raised his sword, ready to strike and end the terror of the serpent-haired horror once and for all.